Let's go live now to Tel Aviv, where Fox News chief foreign correspondent Trey Yingst has been up all night, is standing by with all the details. Trey, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Laura, following that Israeli attack against Iranian nuclear facilities and top IRGC leadership overnight and into today, the Iranians have responded with 3 waves of ballistic missiles. This is Israel's version of the Pentagon, the Kiryat. And the building on this compound was just hit.
Please go back, please, go back, please.
You can understand here, it's very tense at this specific location because the Iranians are now targeting the defense establishment of Israel. And so I'm going to have my cameraman pan up here to this building just across the street from the Kiryat. And so you can see it's very tense right here because, again, the Iranians were able to just strike a very significant target in Israel. As we move forward here, we do expect more ballistic missiles to be fired into this country. We understand that Israel's air defense system was active during this third attack. We were in the suburbs of Tel Aviv at a location that had been hit. 1 woman was killed there, and more than 20 were injured. As these missiles are coming in, an Israeli security source telling Fox News that the Americans are helping to shoot down some of this incoming fire. But as it gets more and more intense, it will be very difficult to do so. And so there are questions about what comes next in this conflict. Again, we're just sort of backing up here from this location. It's a very sensitive location. But the bottom line here, Laura, is that the conflict between Israel and Iran continues. The Iranians have launched around 150 ballistic missiles into this country today, some of them slamming into military establishments, into a variety of residential buildings. And as you can see off here in the distance, this is a shopping mall in the heart of Tel Aviv. There are both residential and commercial buildings around here, Laura, and they have been damaged in this most recent missile barrage launched by the Iranians. Laura?
Trey, how badly have the residential sites been hit? Because Israel is now saying that what Iran did in its counter strike is basically beyond the pale. And so each side is saying, you did this, the results are going to be devastating for your country.
Yeah, absolutely. What we saw tonight, I have not seen in nearly 7 years of covering this story. We have seen rocket fire from the Gaza Strip with groups like Hamas and Islamic Jihad. We've seen precision-guided missiles coming from Lebanon with the Iran-backed group Hezbollah, ballistic missiles from Yemen with the Houthis. We were here last year in both April and October when the Iranians targeted Israel, and they targeted bases on the outskirts of major population centers. The site that we just got back from, where 1 woman was killed and at least 20 were injured, an entire block was wiped out. While we were there, every once in a while, the rescue teams, Laura, they would stop and they would tell everyone to be quiet. And they would call out for survivors under the rubble, and they didn't find anyone while we were there. And as we were live on Special Report, there was incoming missile fire, and we had to, in the middle of our hit, get to a shelter underground and wait as explosions happened right overhead. One of them so large, it shook the building that we were in. The site that we're at right now, again, it's a very sensitive site, as you saw some of those police and soldiers at the beginning of our conversation here wanting us to move back. They don't want us to show this specific area, but it was a hit that was trying to target directly Israel's version of the Pentagon, the Kiryat. Iran is using what they can to respond to Israel, but Israeli sources say this is going to go on for days, if not weeks, because the Iranians are now striking Israel with groups of ballistic missiles, anywhere from 50 to 100 missiles. And so while Israel can shoot down some of that fire, they simply cannot shoot down all of it. And what we saw tonight was truly unspeakable in terms of the escalation ladder of what is about to happen. Laura, I can tell you the Israelis are going to ramp up their strikes targeting Iran. They've already targeted nuclear facilities. They have targeted nuclear scientists. And they've also targeted the leaders of Iran's IRGC. They killed the top commander and General Salami. And this is a man who was responsible for preparing a missile strike against Israel. Just 2 days ago, he was threatening the Israeli state. And overnight, the Israelis targeted him in an airstrike, and they likely will not stop there. This is expected to continue for days, if not weeks, and this country remains at a state of alert, a state of emergency, and officials that we are talking to say they are urging the civilian population to stay close to bomb shelters, understanding that this is just the very beginning of what is a quickly developing war between Israel and Iran. Laura?
Trey, I know they don't want you to show it, but how badly was their version of the Pentagon, Israel's version of the Pentagon, hit by these attacks?
I'm going to have my cameraman just pan up to this building here that is on the compound of the Kiryat. And you can see these are likely offices. The building just next to it I've been in many times. But there is significant damage. They have teams there just trying to ensure that no one was inside at the time. Likely when the missile attack happened, any senior officials that would have been inside their version of the Pentagon would have been underground. But there is damage to it. And again, this just speaks to the types of targets that the Iranians are hitting. They are targeting not only residential areas, they are targeting military installations. And this is expected to escalate because they have advanced missiles. We have seen them provide the Russians with these very missiles that they are using against Ukraine. And now they are using these advanced ballistic missiles to target Israel. And again, despite the fact that there is some advanced missile defense systems that are on the ground here, from David's Sling to the Arrow 2 and 3 system, and the American systems, the Patriot system and the THAAD system, it is not enough to stop this incoming fire. And when we were live earlier today, around the 2 p.m. hour, it was so intense in Tel Aviv that they were not able to shoot down the missiles with these advanced systems. And as the missiles kept slipping past the air defense, they started to use smaller systems in an attempt to shoot them down. And we saw missiles slamming into the ground, causing significant damage and killing at least one person. And so as we move forward here, it is very clear that the conflict that is erupting now between Israel and Iran is different than anything that the region has seen. And it is substantially different from the conflict that has been ongoing for more than 600 days between Israel and Hamas inside Gaza. These ballistic missiles make the rockets that were being fired from Gaza look like toys. It is causing significant damage, wiping entire apartment blocks off of the map. Laura?
Trey, thank you. We'll check back soon. We really appreciate it. Stay safe, my friend.